on Thursday, mama. Where are you? Cause I'm on the front porch. Only I'm not really. Thanks for waiting, everyone. We've had a crazy morning. It's Thursday here. Maybe it's Friday for you. I don't know where you are. It's noon here on the East Coast. And instead of being in North Carolina, where you normally see us, we're actually in New Jersey. And the cool thing is that we got the green screen going on behind us. And there's Lucky on the bench, on the swing that you know so well. But you never get to see the cabin. You know, you just kind of get to see the swing part, and we might have a picture of the cabin. Yeah, so Tay's gonna give us a picture of the cabin front on. So isn't that awesome? So you see to my left is the swing, and that's our home. So we just thought it'd be cool to give you that view today since we're green screening it, and thank you for being here. Share this while it's live. You could win an M bass, which is this mini bass. So cool, from Gold Tone Instruments. Thank you for supplying us with that. We're really grateful for that. It's a cool little bass, easy to put your hands and fingers on if you're new to bass or even if you're not. Anyway, you can win that. We're doing a contest. You got to share this live. I will see that you've shared, and I will write your name down and enter you however many times you share. So here's a little bit of what's happening in our environment. We're in the house in Jersey that we have, and doing a lot of decluttering, purging kind of things. And the street, we just got here yesterday, the night before, and there's signs on every single street in the entire neighborhood that say, emergency, no parking from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. all day. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I was like, we have our Vicki van, and we got boy, what do you mean no parking? No, like anywhere in the neighborhood at all. Every street has signs.
Oh, hold on. We weren't live on Facebook. We are now.
Oh, we're live on Facebook.
Wait.
Or you mean YouTube? Facebook? Hey, maybe I'm starting over because I'm not sure if we're live. We're live.
We're live now, but we weren't.
Okay, so we are here today on Thursday. Ooh. Oh, no. I'm going through that whole little spiel again that I just went through. Happy Thursday. We are in New Jersey today. You get to see the cabin as it looks when you're looking straight on. You normally see me on the swing, which is to my left now, and no one's on that swing. So yeah, it's okay. This is what you normally see, sometimes with Lucky on the swing with me. But we thought it'd be cool to give you that view since we are green screening, which means we can put photos back there behind me. Tay has been scrambling her tootsies off this morning, getting the green screen, getting the lighting. We're in, she grabbed stuff from her amazing rack that she put together so beautifully in North Carolina. She grabbed what she needed, and we are now mobily set up here in our New Jersey setup. Oh my God, it's been a little bit of a hustle this morning. So that's that. Share this video. You can win an M bass from Gold Tone Music. It's a cool little bass. I've played it many times. You'll see it again. Every time you share, I'll put your name into the wheel, the spinning wheel, and then you will, then you'll get a chance to win. So what else? I don't have a printer, so I'm using my computer for my notes instead of my so there's just a few things different today. But you're here. We have an amazing guitarist coming on in a little while, Jane Miller. I'm so excited to bring her on. We've been trying to get into each other's orbit for years, and so this was a great opportunity. The coolest thing about Front Porch Thursday has been for me, besides you all showing up, is that I get to hang with these musical guests who are such great people. So I'm excited about that. It's keeping my mind off the fact that I have a vicious case of poison ivy or poison oak that I'm about ready to really be upset about because it's not getting better. It's all on my arms, and it's on my face. I'm okay. I'm dealing with it. Breathing. We've all done it. Yeah. I'm doing all kinds of alcohol, this, that, tea tree, things. Okay, so sharing. Okay, we have coming up in June, we have a really great Guitar Cloud Symposium. We have them every month. June's is loaded with fun. I'm going to give you a quick glance. I'm not going to read through it, but go to the website, Guitar Cloud Symposium. Check it out. We've got some new instructors. We've got some old instructors. And just a lot of fun stuff. A section, yeah, it's just really cool. So there's what's happening in June. Robin Ford is going to be our special hangout guest. So cool. So cool. Thank you to Jennifer Batten. Thank you to Positive Grid for being our presenting sponsor. We also have some other great sponsors. You will find all of that on the website. Much gratitude. So also I'm going to jump you through. I am going to be hosting a Guitar Cloud Symposium in August for songwriters. So Jennifer kind of gave me that. She's like, you want to deal with that? Okay. So that's going to be really cool. We have Sarah Hickman, we have Tom Prasad Rao, and we have Jeff Paris all joining me in a songwriting extravaganza deep dive. That's happening. Okay, what else to say right now? What I'm going to say right now is, here's my first story. I didn't want to deal with this. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to know about it. I didn't want to learn about it. But it's all over the news, and also my nephew's into it, and I feel like I can learn. And so there's Bitcoin, okay? There's definitely Bitcoin. And there's Dogecoin, which I was calling Dogecoin until I listened to a great podcast that I have a link for you. I have a bunch of links for you if you want to dive in, unless you already are brilliantly knowledgeable about all this cryptocurrency. So there's Dogeball, which was Dogeball. There's Dodgeball, and then there's Dogecoin. Do not confuse the two, Vicki, which actually started as a joke, and the dog is very important there. You'll learn about it. And then there's Ethereum. Those seem to be the three big things. I'm amazed I even could say that right now. And just so we know, there is a 27-year-old billionaire who invented Ethereum. And I got to look at my notes here because it's new knowledge. So yes. Vitalik Buterin. I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong. But he is he is the world's youngest crypto billionaire, and he founded Ethereum. That's right. Oh, here's the thing: NFT. You may have heard. It's just crazy stuff for old people like me, because it's like, what, how, what, that piece of art. So that journalist took a picture of his story, of his piece that he wrote, and sold it as an NFT. What's an NFT? Non-fungible token. Is it fungible or fungible? Like Genfan or Genfan, my last name, people go, is it a hard G or a soft G? So I'm thinking fungible. Fungible sounds better, although Genfan is not really how you say my name, so I don't really know. But, it's fascinating. So I've given you a bunch of links. The cool thing about anyway, the cool thing about him is that he's donated over $1 billion of cryptocurrency to the India COVID Relief Fund and a range of other charities. So, yeah, I'm all for that. I am all for that. If you're already into the crypto world, tell us a little bit about what you do, what you know. Just drop it in. I want to know. I'm learning. I figure I can learn. So, all right. It's time for our weather woman. It really is what it's time for. And so, if she's ready and willing, is there a Kelly Bedwell in the house?
Hello. This is Kelly Bedwell reporting to you from WKFU, your Brooklyn weather station. So I'm really not in Brooklyn. I am literally standing in a stream.
Love it.
So here I am in Philmont, New York, at a beautiful conservation area called High Falls. And it's called High Falls because there's a huge waterfall way up the hill. We decided maybe I better not go up there because we don't know if we have reception, and that wouldn't be nice. You wouldn't get to see my beautiful face.
Woo!
That face, that face, that wonderful face. Yeah, because I didn't I didn't do my homework, so I told Vicki I don't really have anything to say. Of course, that we all know that could never happen. But regarding the weather, it's beautiful here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We've had a couple days now in the 80s, which is a little warm, but it's just been so soothing. And to walk in here and just be in this environment, I immediately felt myself relax and just breathe better because I talk to the trees, but they don't listen to me. I talk to the something, but they never hear me. Hello? Is anybody out there? I was like, is that the Pink Floyd song? Anyway, let's just can you hear the stream?
A little bit. You want to put the mic up to it?
What, this mic? What, I got to get down on the ground now? It's a big deal that I even came into this stream.
Yes.
You know.
Get down on the ground. Get down on it.
No. I have a couple of things. Vicki, I'm so sorry of poison ivy. Oh my God, I had it years ago. And, you know, I take everything harder than everybody else, but still, you got my sympathy.
I'm losing
also, you know, we'll talk about that later, losing it. So I saw the stream, of course, obviously, I have eyes that still work. And I thought to myself, oh, I should go down there. Oh, I'm not going down there. What if I fall? I really noticed getting older, I'm not so apt to just like do whatever anymore. So I feel like my balance is a little weird. But I said, oh, please go down in the stream. So here I am. I took my shoes off and everything. Anyway, it's beautiful here. So after my report, which will be over in 2 seconds, I'm going to go up to the waterfall and check it out and just enjoy this area. I'm trying to show you the stream. Anyway, this is Kelly Bedwell reporting to you from WKFU, New York weather sometimes.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you later. WKFU. Awesome. Thank you, Kelly Sue. All right. How many of you have seen The Queen's Gambit, the Netflix series? Put a Queen's Gambit in there if you have. If you haven't, you have to. It's brilliant. It's brilliant whether or not you're into chess, and it's about chess, but it's brilliant no matter what. It's beautifully written. It's beautifully acted. It's really, really, really moving. And so, as my lead-in, that was. Sometimes words just don't work the way you want them to work, and this, you know, I try to give you a little bit of that every show. I really want to. So, Tani Adewumi. Tani Adewumi. I don't know exactly how to say this beautiful boy's name, but he has gone from being a 7-year-old living in a homeless shelter to a national chess master, much in the same light as our main character in The Queen's Gambit. Tani Adewumi's family fled Nigeria in 2017 when their lives were threatened, and they eventually were able to settle in New York. The family was given temporary housing in a homeless shelter located above a hotel. Tani and his brother enrolled in a nearby public school that had an active chess club, and Tani wanted to join. When his mother told the coaches that they were living in a shelter and could not pay the $330 fee, they waived it. Tani made headlines when he won the New York State Chess Championship at the age of 8, only after 1 year of playing chess. 1 year. Jesus. His chess coach had set up a GoFundMe following the boy's win, which got his family into an apartment and out of the homeless shelter. The GoFundMe page raised more than $250,000 in 10 days. An anonymous donor offered to pay their rent on an apartment for 1 year. So that is my make me smile story for the day. Share this while you can. And what else? I think that's really. Oh, I'm gonna play one. I'm gonna play one song, and then we'll bring out Miss Jane. This is just. I'm gonna grab my pick here. Hold on 1 second. Grab my pick. And this is just a song that kind of reminds me of the cabin. Here's the biggest news of 2021. I'm in New Jersey, and that is where my nail therapist is. And I have an appointment tomorrow morning at 10:30. And it has been about 15 months since I've had my nails. And I tell you something, I don't know a proper metaphor, but it has drastically altered the way that I play. And it has limited me from doing a lot of the stuff that I want to do regarding fingerstyle guitar. So I'm beyond excited. I'm going to pay attention like nobody's business, because I'm not really not going to be in Jersey very much. I'm going to mostly be down south. I have not found anyone who can do what she does. So I'm going to pay attention like nobody's business and hope and pray that I can really get a grip so that I can learn how to do this nail thing for myself. So I'm really excited. Next week when I see you, I'm going to have nails, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. It's going to be really something. So, all right, people. I'm going to put a capo on here for reasons I'm not telling you, and I'm going to bring out our musical guest. What I'm going to say is that Jane Miller is an acoustic guitar player, an electric guitar player. She's a professor at Berklee School of Music, which is a school I really wanted to go to. She does master classes all over the world. She's written guitar books. She has like multiple CDs out. What else can I say? I know I'm missing some things, but really, really excited to bring out Jane Miller. So if she is ready, if you are ready, Jane, get y'all butt out here.
Hello, here I am.
Hey,
Hey.
welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad we got to work this out.
I am so glad. It's great to see you.
Yeah, tell us where you are right now.
I'm in central Massachusetts in a little place called the middle of nowhere.
Is it really called that?
Well, no, I call it that.
What's it called?
It's such a small town. I don't even like to say the name. Let's
Don't
just
say
say
the name.
North Central Massachusetts.
Okay, cool.
And there are a lot of trees. There's a lake. There are birds. I opened my window so you might hear some birds.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
We're missing the birds today. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how the heck has this year been for you? The past year, the pandemic. How was it?
Well, it's horrifying to think about, and so it starts there. But on the other hand, I have so much to be grateful for. Speaking of having a nice place to live,
Yeah.
and having work that I love to do, and I can do a lot of it from home, so I've been teaching remotely through Berkeley. I mean, Berkeley lives on, you know, and we picked it up and worked remotely, and then that morphed into hybrid, and in the fall we'll be back. So there's been that, but it has given me a chance to be home a lot and work on I have a little production studio right there next to this room.
Yeah.
And you know, so I've been working on writing, and then instead of having songwriting, my composition projects used to pretty much end with pen and paper, and sometimes notation software, and then give to the band, and we play the thing. But what I'm learning is that's not where it ends. Now you have to produce the thing and record it and get all the. So I'm learning production music and working on the process of finding new places for my songs to live.
Wow. Like what? Well, can you give us an example of a new place that your songs might live?
Yeah, I'm still learning and processing all of it, but the hope is to have music in film, TV, videos, corporate videos, commercials, all that kind of thing.
Right. Good stuff.
And it's a whole different kind of writing too. It's really been interesting for me. It's like I'm allowing myself to write songs that might not be right for my band or right for me to play solo or anything like that, but it's like but there's this other way to go.
Yeah.
And that's been really cool. It's freeing, it's confining, it's all of everything in between. It's all of that. It's just been really interesting. So that's kind of how my year. When people ask how's your year going, it's kind of what I think of. Yeah, I've been in there a lot, and it's been really fun.
Yep.
And I got back to the gym and the lap pool. That's been a huge the thing I missed the most. I mean, yeah, I missed performing a little. It took me a while to miss performing, to be honest with you, but I really missed the lap swimming in the gym, so I got back to that, and it's been
great.
That's been feeling good. I'm fully vaxxed and all that good stuff.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's something to be said about the physical activity. Maybe some of us found ways to work at home, doing, replacing the things we used to do, hiking, swimming, running, all the things that we kind of maybe limited during the pandemic time. So it's an integral part of just sanity and health to be able to move, in the ways we want to move. And I'm really glad for you getting back to that. That's cool. I don't know a lot about your growing up, and I'm just kind of wondering what hit you about the guitar and when, and how did you find jazz as the place you wanted to live guitar-wise and stuff?
Oh, that was an interesting evolution, I think. I started with piano when I was a kid. Well, to take it back further, I started with ukulele.
Cool.
And then I had this. It was like a plastic toy, I think, and I played this ukulele. And my uncle Don, he was a pharmacist. He was, as far as I know, he wasn't a musician. But I played the ukulele, and I remember really distinctly saying to him, I was like 3 or 4 years old, saying, "I need a new ukulele." And he said, "Well, what's the matter, Jane, with that one?" I said, "Well, this one just plays the same thing all the time." And he said, "Well, Jane, you have to put your fingers on this part too." I was like, "Oh."
That's such a natural thing to think. That's so great.
I'm gonna have to get another one of these. Yeah, so that was life changing, of course, and and then I took piano lessons as a kid, and then I picked up guitar from a teacher on PBS named Laura Weber, and I know there are Laura Weber. It's like a cult. It's like this little cult. Every now and then I meet a Laura Weber student, and it's like, "Oh my God, you watched her too? She was on TV. She was so ahead of her time."
Wow.
Because it was before everyone had videos and
Yeah, I never heard of her.
Oh, she was amazing, and she has she doesn't really have an online presence. I mean, she passed away decades ago, but there isn't much to find out about her online, so it's like you just have to know about her, and she was amazing. And she would say things like, like when she taught hard chords, she would say, "All right, pick up your guitar from off the floor where you just threw that." So she was brilliant. You know, I learned fingerstyle playing from her, and you know, the beginnings, got some chords up and running, and she would bring on guests. You know, not unlike what you do. I mean,
Yeah.
she'd bring hot tuna and stuff like that. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, she was so cool. She was great. Oh, and then jazz came later. How do I explain how jazz came later? It was like like an evolution. I think is the right word. It's like I just wanted to keep learning more. I didn't. I you know, there's only so much I could do in this particular style. Let me see if I can learn more and grow. It just sort of morphed in it was like a growth spurt, I think. And I got into listening to jazz. I learned standards from listening to singers, really, like Ella and Sarah Vaughan and Billie Holiday. And an interesting thing happens when you have a record collection. You can trace back, like, who played guitar on that track? Who played, you know, who was the bass player there? And then you start buying their records, you know.
Yes.
And so that was a lot of it, just listening and tracing the roots of a lot of these players.
Yeah.
And that was a huge way to learn jazz standards, really.
Excellent. Excellent. I have so many more questions for you. Why don't you play us something?
Sure, yeah. Speaking of jazz standard, I'll do Chopin. You want to hear a little Chopin?
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
I don't think I messed with the sound at all. You let me know if I did. I think it's cool.
Nice, Jane.
Thank you.
Beautiful. That was one of the first songs I learned when I was a jazz student in
Oh,
Ithaca
cool.
College.
How did I know that?
And but I never played it that well, and I never really got I mean, I actually love that song. It's a beautiful song.
I love that song too. Wave.
Yeah, Wave,
Yeah.
Joe Beam. Yeah,
That's so cool that that was one that you have a little connection to it.
yeah, yeah.
Didn't know that.
I can't even remember what else I learned. I mean, truthfully, my teacher was into bebop, and I was not into bebop. And I just, like, if my teacher had been Pat Metheny or something, I feel like I would have really dug it, you know? But
Yeah.
I just wanted, like, a little bit more contemporary slant on things. But also, I was busy doing my own slap-tappy crazy tuning thing, so.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's yeah. I mean, that's how I think of you as this you know, unique stylistic guitar player that, you know, if I hear you talk about, like, yeah, it would have been cool if I did this or that, but yeah, but you did this other thing that's so cool. It's like so you.
Yeah, I guess we all want to do everything, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I have a fantasy about studying jazz piano when I retire, whatever that means at 87. You know, like, because I started with piano like you early. I was 3 when I started with piano, and
Wow.
so learned how to read and loved it. I had the best teacher in the world. She'd give me little stars. You know, like, I have the fondest, most beautiful memories of my piano lessons, but stopped, you know, when I got to be like a teenager and never went further with it. But anyway, that was gorgeous. I'm wondering a little bit about the difference for you when you play as a soloist versus playing with a band, because you do both things, and not everybody does that. What's that like?
Well, one of my favorite things is arranging. It's along with composing. Arranging is kind of, you know, the same, comes from the same part of my brain, you know, sort of, right? When you make creative choices and things like that. So,
Yeah.
arranging for the band is fun. And then what I've learned to do, and it took me a lot of time anyway, is to just get really good at leaning on, you know, the rhythm section, for example, and letting the, you know, like trusting that that's gonna work, and let the I used to be overly meticulous about, like, say, drum parts or something, you know, and then until I learned, like, the drummer's a way better drummer than I am, since I'm not a drummer at all.
Let them do their thing.
You know, let the drummer, let them do the thing, and let the bass player do the, you know, and give them the direction and everything, but then, you know, see what they do, and just trusting that and leaning on them to feel the time right, and like that. That's huge, and it's, I don't know if I'll ever get it right, but it's really fun to be in that. That's one of the things I've missed lately, is to be in that, in the middle of that musical experience, you know.
Yeah.
But playing solo, I mean, that has its own beautiful thing, as Kim Perlack, my department chair, would say. It's its own beautiful thing, you know. It's separate, and a different way to think of it, and a different way to listen to music. But it's really fun. It's freeing, of course, and it's also, there are also limits to it. It's a really interesting way to practice. When you put limits on your practice, you have to then solve all kinds of puzzles, you know. I mean, if the sky's the limit and you can do anything you want, yeah, just go outside and play and do anything you want. You know, that's different than if, like, okay, you can only do this one thing. Oh, okay, I have to figure this out now. You know, that's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
So I think playing solo has that element to it. You know, having to solve some puzzles.
Do those puzzles have to do with how to get the elements of the piece across on your own? What you might compromise on? And for instance, harmonically, you know, when you have a bass player, you don't have to cover the low end of things. Thinking about what do I have to cover, what do I not have to cover, bass wise, or same, I would think rhythmically. Without a drummer, what do I need to make sure is happening rhythmically that I wouldn't be worrying about? Is it those kind of things that you think about?
Yeah, it's exactly that. And you know, one of the things that works is it's a concept that I've come to call permission to let go. And I talk to my students about this. Permission to let go is about, all right, this thing has been established, the bass line or the groove or whatever. It's been established, and we've heard the progression now. Now you can let go. You don't have to always grab that bass note. You can let go and play. Instead of, no, but it's a G. I gotta do this G. You can play up here and trust listeners to go with you.
Yeah.
And find new things and don't be so tied to that. Like, oh my God, there's no bass player. I have to do. You can say it in your own way in different places up the neck, and it really works.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I relate it to, like a director of a film trusts us as we're watching, trusts us to see that, from one scene to the next, we see like, all right, now they went to this other place. We don't need to see them get in the car and do,
Right.
every little step. If there's a leap, we get it. We can go there. We also, I think, have to similarly trust our listeners to go with us where we go, and we'll be like, yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah. That's really freeing for me because I put so much time and effort into being a solo guitarist, solo singer-songwriter, solo performer, because 90% of my performance has been solo. And I think I'm just now starting to understand the concept you're talking about, that I don't have to keep that thing going on. I can actually travel. I can actually visit some other places on the guitar that I would not normally think about. I mean, I feel like that's kind of a crossroads I'm at with my own arranging and as a soloist, as a solo performer. So I really enjoy hearing that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's harder, I think, to play in a duo context. In certain duos, not with a bass player, that's actually really like, yay! You can run around on top of all that.
Yes.
But like, for example, I played, if you are playing behind a singer, or I used to do brunch gigs. I did a million brunch gigs with my friend Cersei Miller. Hi,
Yeah.
Cersei. And she's a saxophone player. And, I'd be comping, playing bass or chords for her or whatever she needed. And she's got the melody. And then she's done taking her solo and she goes up and gets coffee. And so I'm like, oh, God, now it's me. That's where you hear, I mean, that was like college for me. I learned so much from doing that, where it's like, oh, now there's this noticeable difference in the room. Like, what happens? There's this change.
Yeah.
Playing alone, you can go wherever you want, and you're in control. Control is like a big
Yes.
thing for human beings, right?
Yes.
And so that really taught me a lot. Like, whoa, I gotta figure out how to make this still sound okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
And,
great training.
You can take solos and still be playing chords. I was kind of doing that in the first
Yep.
song. I mean,
Yep.
sort of take solos and still have that support, or break off into single note lines. I mean, if you do it with conviction and you mean it,
Yes.
you can do anything.
Yes. And obviously, if you have really good time, that helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Conviction is important. Hey, would you convict to play us another song?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
How about a little? I'll do a song I wrote. This is one of an earlier pieces of mine. It's called Gratitude. You have a little gratitude going on?
Yeah.
I do, for
Yes.
sure. So, yeah, I'll do that.
Big time.
And I've got hot water here, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Favorite drink. Used to play at a place called the Acton Jazz Cafe in Massachusetts. And my friend Gwen Vivian, the proprietor, the owner there, she always had a mug of hot water ready for me because she knew it was my favorite. And one night I got there to the gig and she had it on the menu. The Jane. She called it the Jane.
Love it. Why hot water?
A cup of hot water, 5 cents. She put.
Oh, that is so cool. Why hot water? What is it that you like about it?
It feels good. What's not to like, right? It's water, but it's warm. It's soothing. You can hold a cup like this, and
Yeah.
it feels good. It's just like it's more interesting to me than room temperature water. Cold water, forget about it.
No way.
Don't put ice.
The things that I'm learning about you today, I mean, did you know that about Jane? I didn't. know that. Awesomeness. Gratitude, bring it on.
All right.
Yeah. Great, great. I'm muted. Sorry about that, I was muted. Now I'm unmuted. That was great.
I wondered what happened to my computer. It can't be Vicki. She's a pro at this.
Wait, look, Tay is doing the job of 10 people, at least 3.
Tay, how amazing is Tay?
Unfreaking believably amazing. I am very lucky. That was beautiful. Now you have a bunch of CDs out, yeah? 4 or 5?
5.
5.
Yeah.
And where?
You want to see a couple of them?
Yeah, please.
This is the most recent one called Boats. I just love boats and water and lakes. So my friend Emily Joy Ashman did
Love it.
the cover from a photograph she had taken.
Beautiful.
Iris helped with some of the painting.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And this is a group project, so it's got Tim Ray on piano, Lincoln Goins on bass, and Mark Walker on drums, with guests. My friend Sarah Bowen played flute and whistle, and Eugene Friesen on cello. So I'm proud of this one. It was arranging and composition of just challenging and fun things that I love.
Yeah. Where can people get your music?
My website, janemillergroup.com. CD Baby will hook you up with downloads, but they no longer sell the physical CDs.
Okay, but they'll
So
do digital.
Write to me. Somebody could email me at from my website, because I have CDs here in the house.
Cool.
And then this is the solo. Since we were talking about solo playing, that's my solo CD.
Yes, love that.
Three
Love
sides
that.
to a story. And again, my friend Emily did the photography and design, but that's all solo guitar, so
That's
whole different thing.
yeah. It's beautiful CD, by the way. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. I just wanted to briefly. You had mentioned something yesterday that I thought was really inspiring, and maybe some of our listeners and who are songwriters and writers and stuff. I think a lot of people know about Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way, which is an incredible, creative, inspirational book. And many people I started working with that book probably 25 years ago. And one of the things she talks about is morning pages. And she says, get up every day and write a page and a half or something of non-judgmental, non-critique. Just do anything. Let it just come out. Let it come out. Let it come out. No censorship at all, as a way to simply kind of get the juice going, get the motor running, And so a lot of us do that religiously. We write. And explain to us what your morning page ritual has become.
Yeah, well, I love the idea, because I also write words. I'm not a lyricist really, but I write text for books and magazines and such. And essay form is fun for me. So it feels like an extension of that. I mean, what you're describing is a concept for writers known as butt in chair. Like that's how you begin. So I go. Now this was. I wish this had been my idea, but it was recommended to me. I go from bed to piano, basically, and so where I'm sitting here is first thing in the morning. I have a little bit of different setup going on now for this, but I have my piano mic'd always regularly, and then I have my little interface set up here, and I just get up, turn on the gadget, and go. And I try to pretend I don't know anything about piano, and I just let my hands. I usually have my eyes closed. I just let my hands do whatever they do, and I go for like 5 minutes. It's not formal, just whatever. Whenever I feel like it's over, it's over. And I've come up with, I think, some compositional ideas, some freedom, a new way to think about composing that is not so much based on the harmony and the melody that I usually go by and that I usually draw from. It's been really interesting how freeing it has been.
Yeah.
Like this is, especially when I'm studying, film composers and that whole thing, writing for film.
Yeah.
I'm listening to what's coming out, and it's like, it's pure emotion sometimes, and it's all about improv and saying yes to everything. Like this happened, this little thing happened. Oh, so then this would come next. It's like if you listen and tune into what you're doing, you follow that up with something that makes sense of the other thing, and that's just pure improv. That's improv comedy, improv acting. That's improv anything.
Yeah. Improv
That's
living.
conversation with people.
Yeah, yeah. It's something. I think I don't know that improv would be a left brain or a right brain function alone. I think it's a whole brain thing. But as you're talking about it, it feels much more of a right brain function where you're tuning into a holistic kind of non-linear feeling, color, mood zone, as opposed to the more left brain, which wants to go, okay, where am I? What are these notes? What are these chords? Where's a progression that would make sense with this? Oh, what would I want behind that melody? Or what's a rhythmic motif I could start with? And I actually have something that I've coined a phrase. I call it rut busting, which is where I suggest that people. I was told this by my classical guitar teacher in college, who said to us, every time you pick up your guitar, take 5 minutes and play stuff you've never played before. And from that, I kind of extrapolated, play stuff you've never played before. If you find yourself playing stuff you've played, try to move away from it. You know, so we naturally go into habitual things, whether we're on the piano or whether we're on the guitar or whether we're brushing our teeth with our dominant hand. We just naturally do that. It's what we do. Our brain works that way. So when you find yourself crawling into a pattern, a habit, a familiar position with your hands, change it. Try to go somewhere else. And, you know, one of the things I do that and gain enormous joy and inspiration when I'm in an open tuning. So already everything is gone in terms of linear and understanding where am I, what am I doing. And I think for people that are just able to kind of really let go, like you had mentioned earlier, let go, let your hands explore, let your ears follow some new sound or new thing that just came out. Try not to get stuck in an old pattern. Try not to go back to the riffs you always play. I think there's so much there, you know, for the culling. There's just so much creative stuff there. So I really am inspired by hearing that you just roll out of bed into piano. Do you have a hot water waiting for you when you do that, or?
I wish. No, that comes later. Yeah.
Okay, so you pre-hot water. Wow.
Yeah, and pre-cappuccino, pre-everything.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool. That's really neat.
It's cool. I mean, the permission to let go thing is wonderful, really, and it's like, don't freak out. There's nothing to freak out about. Like if you go someplace unexpected, like go there then, instead of like, oh oops, you know, like you can make it a mistake, or you can make it like, oh, that's interesting.
New direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, play us another one.
Sure.
Would you?
Yeah. I'll do a new one for you now.
Great.
The other one was old. And then I'm gonna twist your arm to do something with me.
Yes, I'd love to.
We have time for two more. I'll do this other one.
Yeah, we're gonna go a little over today, but we started a little late, so that's on us.
Yeah. All right. I talk a lot too. I like.
I ask a lot of questions that make
You know,
you
I'll
talk.
tell you, this is another thing of you know, being home so much of this year. When I do see people, I'm like the biggest chatterbox in the world. But it's really fun.
I think we're all experiencing a little bit of that. Yes, people out there. Yes, we want to talk and connect with people.
Yeah. All right, let's see. All right.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Elisa McConey is out there wanting to say hi. She's a student of yours.
Oh, hi, Elisa. Yeah.
And she was a student of ours in Guitar Cloud Symposium. So
Oh, cool.
she didn't know we knew each other, and it's one of those, ah!
Yay.
And yeah. Do you know KJ? KJ Dennert? KJ, she was
I
out
know
here.
the name.
Yeah,
I'm
KJ's an
not-
amazing
but-
musician, guitarist, singer, writer. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's do this song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do our last song and
Yeah. This one's called Johannes.
yeah. You wanted to tell us that title story?
Johannes, yeah. Well, the one I just played is called Small Animals. I'll just leave that there. But this one, Johannes, is a friend of mine in Germany. He's a close friend of close friends of mine, so we met through them, and he was here visiting. He came to my house a couple years ago. Everything seems like a couple years ago now. It was probably
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago. And, or a couple years ago, because this song was new then, I played it for him on the piano. And he's a bass player. He's great. He's an upright bass player from Germany. And I played through the song, and you know, he's kind of a man of few words. He said, "It sounds like monk." I said, "Really?" He said, meaning Thelonious Monk. It sounded
Wow.
like a monk. So I said, "Wow." And then I thought, I guess I kind of know what he means. Along with like, how insightful of him to think I sound like Thelonious Monk. So I thought, wow, that's really an interesting. Like he listened so carefully,
Yeah.
rather than like, oh yeah, cool, let me play you one of mine now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was such a deep listening thing that he did, and
Yeah.
and responded that way. So I named it after him because
Cool.
he's such a guy. So this is it.
Johannes. She's gonna let me. Jane's letting me play some percussive accompaniment.
I'm
Okay.
insisting on it because I know Vicki. I know you're a good drummer, so
Thank you.
I couldn't pass this up.
Thank you. All right, I'm muting away over here.
Okay. going solo.
Yeah, girl, that was cool.
Yeah. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
doing that.
Yeah.
I needed a drummer.
Yeah, well, hopefully on listen back you'll enjoy what I did. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. Vicki Genfan here. This is Jane Miller doing her guitar thing and her composition thing. Please check her out further, and can't thank you enough for being with us today. Thanks, Jane.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tay.
Yes, thank you, Tay. Tay rocks. Okay, thanks for hanging a little bit late. We got a quote for the day. Do we have a quote on a picture so I don't have to find my computer? You know, here it is. So I close my eyes to old ends and open my heart to new beginnings. That's what I have to say for you. You are the best. Everybody, big love. We have construction going on. They actually tore up the sidewalk for about 15, 20 seconds in between Jane's first song and second song. We were able to mute it, so we had the force with us today. See you next week, everybody. Andy McKee is going to be here, so do not miss it. Now I got that groove in my head. Oh, and the front porch, yeah. Even if we're in New Jersey, we still got a front porch. Oh, thank you, Tay, thank you, Tay, thank you, everybody, thank you, Jane Miller, thank you, Kelly Bedwell, for gracing us with your entire being on the front porch. Oh, next week, Andy McKee's gonna do some awesome fingerstyle guitar, yeah. Whoa. Thinking about breakfast now, cause it's about time, cause we never eat breakfast before the show because it's too early and we're all busy trying to hop around and get everything done. See you next week on the front porch. 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 Yeah. See you next week. Hope you have a good one on the front porch. Whatever your front porch is, why don't you do a little morning pages or rut busting and see how that goes for you. See how it goes on the front porch. On the front, on the front, on the front, on the front porch. Ba-ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.